Hey folks, when we talk about our causes of eczema, psoriasis, dermatitis, we tend to talk about triggers. We tend to talk about the things that on the surface cause us to have eczema flare-ups. So these would be things like dairy or pollen or house dust or cats or something that causes us to have a flare-up. And we all know what those things are for ourselves, or most of us do anyway. But in this video, I want to get down a little bit deeper and talk about 3 areas of eczema causation. So these 3 areas are antecedents, triggers, and mediators. And this all comes from the textbook of functional medicine. And the beautiful thing is about medicine these days is we're moving more towards functional medicine, where we actually look at the body holistically. And I love functional medicine. I really think it's the way forwards for all of our national health organizations. So antecedents, these are underlying reasons why you have a disposition to a certain disease. So the reason why you have eczema is because deep down your genes have been predisposed to that because of maybe something that your parents did, or something that is just now part of your genetic makeup. So a genetic disposition would be an antecedent. An illness that you had years and years ago that has caused your gut bacteria to be a certain way, for example, would be another antecedent. A trigger, those are the things that we just talked about. So dairy could be a trigger for you, or walnuts could be a trigger for you, or dust mites could be a trigger, or certain materials or washing up liquids or something. Those will all be triggers. And mediators are, but they basically go between. They are the relationship between the antecedent and the trigger. So the mediator is something that causes the antecedent and the trigger to be effective. So for example, if your antecedent is you have a genetic disposition for eczema, and your trigger is the walnuts that are causing you to have eczema, well, the mediator could simply be the belief system that you have that relationship even exists in the first place. That would be a mediator. And there are other things which can be mediators too, which are more physical things. And I'm going to put a list on the screen here of mediators and a list of antecedents and a list of triggers to give you an idea, an example, a few examples of what these are. Now, there's a lot of technical things which sit behind why you have eczema, what your healing process is going to be. And I would say that for most people, you don't really need to know all the nitty-gritties and the labels. And, who cares what an antecedent is? Who cares that it's called antecedent or mediator? It's not really important. But the reason why I did want to make a video about this specific topic is I feel like there is a greater need to look deeper into healing, because sometimes I make videos and the way people comment, I'm not sure if they've even watched the whole video, and maybe in some cases they haven't. We're maybe perhaps all guilty of that, commenting sometimes before we've watched and thought about the entire video. But sometimes when I talk about things in videos, I'm talking at quite a detailed, deep level about things, and I really appreciate it when I know people have watched and listened carefully to what I'm actually saying. And I think we can all benefit from looking a bit deeper into the root causes and the different levels of causation as to why we have our diseases. It's all very well understanding your triggers and trying to avoid those things. And it's all very well understanding your antecedents and the reason why you have a genetic disposition for it. But those can both be very depressive, restrictive ways of looking at life. When we have an understanding of all 3, and we understand how to manipulate those 3 to work with them, to understand how we can leverage our mediators, how we can leverage our triggers and antecedents and use them to the best of our knowledge and understanding to move forwards and to build a really sustainable healing plan for ourselves. This is what I do with clients. I look at these things for people, and together we can build a program, a lifestyle planner program that includes nutrition, detoxification, and sustainability specific to that person's needs based on the antecedents, mediators, and triggers. But if you can reach an understanding of what these things are by yourself, they can really help you along your healing journey. They can really help you to mentally be prepared for the journey ahead, and they can help you to be more realistic about where you've already come on your journey. Some people are very, very depressive and negative about what they've already been able to achieve. So I encourage you to research this one if you're interested. If you are, acting as your own coach right now, look into it. Look into these things a little bit deeper. Let me know your thoughts, what your antecedents are, what your triggers are, what your mediators are in the comments down below. Maybe other people can relate to what you have to say on the topic. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.